Today we're building the apartment complex building, so if you enjoyed this video, why not leave it a like and a comment down below, and let's jump into the build. So hello everyone, Auvbri here and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. So today we're building the apartment complex. Now this is a picture somebody sent to me in a private message or whatever it's called on Instagram. But it was kind of showing like this apartment building that we're trying to recreate here, and I just thought it looked so cool. It was a very big build, so as you can always also see at the moment it's a very long video, but I just thought it looked so cool that we had to try to recreate it. So this building has three stories besides the ground level, and I furnished 2 of the apartments. I did all of the downstairs stuff, so we have a janitor office and there's like little storage areas, and we did all of the what is that called? Staircase levels, where we kind of decorated all of that. We did the outside gardenings, both front and back, and the apartments actually turned out to be quite big. So they are 2 bedrooms apartments with a large living room, dining room, kitchen area, kind of like in one. Then we have a large bathroom as well. So that's kind of the whole gist of the apartment. So both apartments have the exact same layout, and the kitchen is based exactly the same place. And I did that because in apartment buildings, at least here where I live, if you buy an apartment in a complex like this, all of the apartments usually look exactly the same. They might be mirrored if there's like something on the other side of the hallway, but they look exactly the same. And I wanted to run with that idea, having the exact same apartment building, so every apartment would look exactly the same. So I decided to do the kitchen exactly the same. I mean, the styles are a bit different, but I tried to use the same counters and stuff like that. The layout is exactly the same in every apartment, and the reason for that is just I wanted to try to showcase that even though you have an apartment that is similar to layout wise to the one on the other side of the hall, or above you or below you, you can still do something different with it. So I wanted to showcase the similarities by doing every apartment different. Oh, okay, one thing I also need to point out, so in every single floor we have a laundry room. I could have done just one laundry room down in the ground level where we have the janitor's office, but I just decided to have them on each floor because in my head that's just more convenient. Seeing that I live in a building which has apartments, we all have to use the washing machine and dryer in a fixed location that is downstairs, so we have to go out of our apartment, downstairs, outside, and into the washing room, which is it's really annoying. So I just decided to do it this way. We've started putting in windows. Now the picture that was sent to me had this, and it actually was red. So it was a red building with this white middle to it. But the side of the red buildings had like all these smaller windows kind of like misplaced and all around the place. So I just decided to run with that because I thought that was a really cool idea. Starting to do the layout of the apartment buildings here. Yeah, as you can see, we actually have quite a lot of space. I was kind of surprised. I tried to limit the space so each apartment wouldn't get like super big and like overkill big. But actually it turned out that it just it looked great. So I needed some windows for the back side here. The back of the apartments where we have the 2 bedrooms. One is actually 1 tile smaller than the other, but I'm sure that shouldn't be a problem for most of you guys. And as I said before, I actually left one apartment unfurnished, so if you want to furnish one yourself or use it for something totally different, you can definitely do that. And you might be thinking, Auvbri, there's no such things as apartment buildings in The Sims 4. Yeah, that's true, which is actually kind of a bummer, but I was kind of thinking that maybe you could have one big household and pretend that they are 2 separate households. That's kind of what I would have done. Yeah. Seeing that we are building in the desert, and I totally hit the record button in the game there, so you're gonna see that yellow line for a while, because I didn't actually realize that I'd pressed that. But seeing that we are building in the desert and the location that we are building in has these flower beds beside them to kind of, style up the place, I decided to tie that in with the rest, and there is some sections of this build that you're just not gonna see being done, just because of the sheer amount of work that went into this build. So there's just some things that you're not gonna see me do, but it's not really anything important. There's gonna be screenshots of everything in the end, but you could kind of see in the backyard that I created these kind of round pieces which I Stalk grass flooring tile to kind of mimic the surrounding area, flower beds. That was what I was looking for. So yeah, I know I'm saying a lot. I just I don't really know what to say at this point. It's a really big build. I mean, it's something different. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I've actually been working on 2 builds at once this time, which is really unusual for me, because I usually have just one build in mind and then I'm gonna do that and jump to the next one once I have uploaded that or whatever. But I've been working on 2 builds beside one another. So I was working on this one and another one that will come out sometime in the next following week. So stay tuned for that. But I was just, that feeling when you're working on something and you just lost your inspiration. I kind of have that feeling with The Sims at the moment. I'm running out of inspiration, and I really cannot wait for the Seasons expansion pack to get me excited about Sims again, because at this point, I have to be honest with you guys, but the inspiration is kind of running low. I have a ton of buildings that I want to do, but I just feel the restrictions of the game starting to show, and I feel like every build I do kind of ends up looking a bit the same. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Seasons. As I've been rambling on, tell me down below if you have the same problem with The Sims. I'm just I don't want to put out content just for the sake of putting out content, but I do have to say that yeah, the inspiration is kind of running low at this point. I need some inspiration. So if you have a build, and this is definitely something you should do, if you have a build that you think would be really cool for me to do, tell me in the comment section down below, or like send me a link to a picture on Twitter, like anything like that can really help me out a great big deal. So we can kind of get the ball rolling again, especially for seasons. I'm looking so much forward to that. And it's only like 5 days away at this point, which is really exciting. So, while I've been rambling on, we've kind of done the entrance of the apartment build, and I wanted to have a kind of like a desk area where the janitor would be. So a front desk area and some seating areas. You're gonna see me work on the janitor's office at the moment, where I kind of put in all of these tools. We have all of like I try to like make a stereotypical janitor office. So I put in all of these pipes and decorations, all of these work stuff like for outside, and we put in these shelving units, which has a lot of stuff in it. I know it's probably for food, but you can kind of see that. So I just try to, make it look really janitor office-like, and I think it turned out actually pretty awesome in the end. It's definitely a place where I could see a janitor work. Of course, his or hers desk in the back here, and just some chairs, a little bookcase area, and that's kind of it for this janitor's office. I thought it looked really nice. It was something different. One thing you also didn't see me do, right when I did the janitor's office, I also did the little storage spaces, which is right next to the janitor's office. There's a little a doorway into it, and it's not actually usable, it's just for decoration purpose, but you can you can kind of have a look at it. I tried to show some in the screenshots, I believe. And again, this is just a thing because I was working on 2 builds at the same time. So honestly, I have like 50%. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I honestly can't remember. But we're working on the kitchen here, and this is in the first floor apartment. This is the apartment where I decided maybe a painter or artist would live. So this apartment is a bit more mellowed out. The kitchen is still modern because I felt like in this apartment building the kitchens would be modern looking. The bathrooms are exactly the same. Of course, I accessorized them with different stuff to kind of make them feel somewhat more relatable to that person living in that apartment at that time. But as you can see here, I decided to go with this stone wall in the apartment, and then all of the other walls, which I was kind of thinking would be white when you move in, I decided to paint those yellow, and that will be, of course, be another color in the other apartment. But the stone wall is fixed, so that's the same for every apartment. And seeing that this is a painter's apartment, I didn't actually put in a dining room area here. I did instead put in stuff for a cat, so I know that's kind of stereotypical, but I just felt like a cat would fit in a space like this. Moving into one of the rooms here, I decided that this would kind of be her place where she would paint, take pictures. So what we are gonna put in, what is that? It was like I believe it came with I can't remember the expansion pack. It was like this big photo booth thingy where there's like photo lamps and like a big wide screen behind it, and it was really awesome. So I decided to use that, put in an easel, and kind of work around that. And that's kind of what the painting room became. There's still a walk-in closet in this room because, again, this is just a room converted, so it needed to be the same in every single room. An easel, and I've tested this out. She can definitely go in here, use it. And then I was just trying to use a little display here. And for anybody who asks, you can actually move stuff around. So if, like you just saw me do it, if you place something on the table or like a kitchen counter and you want it to be placed, let's say a little bit more to the left, then you just have to turn on the Moveobjects cheat, move the counter like half a square to the right, then grab that item that you wanted to move, press down the Alt key, and then you can kind of move it freely around with it still having the same height as the counter. And then place it, and then you can move the counter back again, and everything should be good. And it's actually a tip that I learned from another simmer here on the community. I can't remember who. I believe it's actually Fry from the or maybe I can't remember, but it's definitely a good tip and you should definitely try it out. So we've moved up to a new apartment here, and you can kind of see in the background that I've decided to, at this point I had done all of the hallways in the in each floor. So we have the laundry rooms and all that kind of stuff. Now they are 100% identical on each floor, so there's no reason to use the one downstairs. Everything is exactly the same. And as you can see here, the kitchen kind of looks the same, a bit different color, but the countertops is definitely the same as before. And this apartment is kind of a more modern take on the apartment, and you can kind of see that the color scheme changes here. It is definitely more modern, and I just wanted to showcase that you could have a lot of different types of layouts in the exactly same place. So in this build, we are gonna have a dining room area, which we didn't have in the apartment below. We're also gonna have a television area, which again wasn't in the apartment below. And there's actually 2 bedrooms in this build. So that's also different from the other apartment. And there was something going on in this apartment that I had to turn the daytime outside to nighttime because the lighting just flipped totally out. You could definitely see it in the beginning. It was like crazy. I've never seen anything like that. It was just so bright, and no matter how many lights I deleted inside of the apartment, it was just so bright always. So I just decided to go nighttime, and in the screenshots in the end, when we actually change back to daytime, you can't see it. So I think it was just some kind of glitch in the lighting engine, but it was definitely unbearable to look at. So I had to just change the nighttime. And I do have to say that this apartment, I think, turned out really, really great. I mean, the neutral colors on the wall that we kind of have like these grayish beige color, with the muted, somewhat bluish color, and then the pop of orange here and there. It just makes the build fresh for me. It's something different, and I really do enjoy how it turned out. So yeah. You can definitely tell me down in the comment section below which apartment you prefer. So this is, let's call it apartment number 3 because it's on the 3rd floor. Or apartment number 1. I do really like how apartment number 1 turned out. It's a very artsy apartment, and you can kind of see what kind of person would live in that space. But you guys know me. I'm a bit more to the modern side of decorating. So we've moved into the first bedroom here, and this is the smaller of the bedrooms. I decided to throw in double beds in both bedrooms and just kind of make this a bit more of a guest room vibe, and having this other bedroom be a more master bedroom vibe. That was the word I was looking for. Just because I didn't see a kid living in this space, so I felt like a guest room would make more sense. And moved into the master bedroom here. We have a lot more space to work with, so I decided to throw in some more furniture. We have some seating arrangements, which we also had in the other one, but there's just a lot more space here to work with. So a seating arrangement behind the beds, or in front of, however you want to watch that. And just, some spaces, decorative spaces, and that's kind of it. We've got to move outside here, and this is where it's going to get fast, because some of this you're not actually going to see, I don't believe. There was a point where I forgot to record, and I know that happens. It's just, yeah, it was late in the night, and yeah. I have no excuse. It's just something that can happen, honestly. So I was trying to make this look a bit more appealing, so it wouldn't just look like a great big red cube. So in the picture that I had, there was this there was just this building, and then we had like a little garden front, which I'm working on here. And the garden in front was so minimal. I actually liked how it looked, so I didn't do too much in the front. In the back here, again, I'm throwing in some ivy just to kind of break everything up, so it just doesn't look like a big red cube, because I feel like that was just too boring. I wanted to do something different with it, but still having it fit into the space that we was working with here. But as you can see here in the front, I tried not to do too much. I just threw in some basic plants that I could kind of see be in the desert, and some of those are from the Jungle Adventure game pack. But it just fit in, and that's kind of the front here. And then the back, these round pieces that we have here, I tried to only use plants that I could see was used in the ones that you can kind of see in the background here, just to kind of tie everything together. We have a little pool area in the back as well, nothing too special, and then a little barbecue area, and we're gonna throw in some seating arrangements and stuff like that, just to kind of pull everything together. But yeah, that's kind of it. We're gonna jump into the screenshots here in a little bit, so yeah. So here we have the screenshots. You can see the barbecue area in the back here. Moving into the front of the building. So this is kind of the entrance where you would walk in. There would kind of be like a reception area. And in the back there, you can kind of see where the storage area would be. The Janitors Office, again, I really like how this turned out. I mean, it's just so quirky, and I don't know. I just think it fits so well with the janitor vibe that I was trying to go for. Hallway to the upstairs, and I decided just to put in some basic stuff here, some seating areas. You can kind of see seating arrangement here and moving into the laundry space. So this is totally identical on each floor. So I decided to do the screenshot this way so you can kind of see what each apartment looks like from the exact same angle. So here we have the arts apartment moving up to the modern. And again, looking at these screenshots, I do have to say I love how each of these turned out. They're so different, but still looking in the same space is just so cool to see what you can do with the exact same amount of space. And the kitchen is placed exactly the same. And looking at it now, I actually went back and changed the counters to be the exact same. So everything matches exactly. Here's the bathroom. You can kind of see how they are the same, but still they're really not. The artsy room, the guest room. I love how, yeah, I'm gonna say this. I just love how this turned out. I mean, it's something different, and it's been a while since I've done one of these. So remember, if you want to get this build, it's on the gallery right now. Just search my origin ID, which is Auvbri, and you should be able to find every single thing that I do in The Sims 4. Or you can try to search hashtag Auvbri. That should also help you find all my builds. If you have a build that you want me to do, or an idea, or anything, feel free to, send me that on Twitter. That would really help me out. My Twitter is also Auvbri. There's a link in the description down below. And yeah, let's figure out something together. I mean, I'm just trying to be honest here, but yeah, the creativity is at the moment running a bit low, so I could really use some help from you guys to kind of figure out what our next move is. But stay tuned for next week, because I'm gonna be uploading a build that I think is so cool, and it's something I've been working on for a while. So stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed this video, why not leave it a big like, subscribe and share to this channel. Check out my other stuff if you find something you like. Yeah, there's nothing else for me to say other than have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!